Hi, my leadership gold diggers. It's Christina Stark again for another edition of the Daily Nugget. And you can see I'm wearing my purple today because today is actually our Domestic Violence Awareness Day. And this whole entire month it really is about domestic violence awareness. But here at Jamberry, this is what we're wearing. So I am dressed up in purple again. Hopefully you are taking a stand and finding a way to challenge everyone to be aware of this. I want to say kind of it's a social disease, if you will, just because it just isn't talked about. And I know so many Jamberry consultants have been affected by it. So those of you who have worked through it, congratulations. I know that it's not a one and done, but continue to help other people that are in it, in the situation, so they too can be survivors as well. So let's talk today about the Daily Nugget. And I have really enjoyed those of you who I have been able to have coaching calls with. And those of you who have had the opportunity to have coaching calls with me, I'm hoping that you're realizing a few things about yourself, especially those of you who have had a follow-up call with me. Sometimes it really takes somebody else to talk to. And that's why I ask, you to find a battle buddy, because a coaching call is not going to necessarily be available to you. And I'm opening up as many spots as I can. But with so many people in our group, and those of you who are really striving to be at LC and above, that's when coaching calls really come in handy. Those of you that are striving towards lead consultant, you haven't been lead consultant for a while, by all means, find somebody out there that's going to push you. And a lot of people talk about, well, I don't know who to reach out to. Well, I've put a post there in our group. Go down there, scroll, look through the things. I know there are probably tons and tons of names there who haven't been able to find a battle buddy yet. But find somebody in your same situation. That way then you guys will be in a similar, at a similar level, so that, if you're a stay-at-home mom and have several kids, find somebody who else is a stay-at-home mom. Because when your kids are driving you crazy, you can empathize with each other. And those of you who work full-time, that is a similar situation to help you guys figure out how you guys can work your business when you already have a full-time job. So, communication. I am surprised at how many people do not communicate with their teams, or how many people have had experiences, they've come from an upline or a team where that person really didn't teach them anything or communicate with them, and then they had to learn so much on their own. Maybe you're falling into one of these categories, or maybe you've said, you know what, I don't care. I'm going to do this myself. I'm going to be the best person I can be. And I love that attitude. And I wish more people were able to do that. But unfortunately, that is not realistic for a lot of people. What it is that I want you, take where you're at now. And I want you, where you've been in the past, to throw it out the window. And that doesn't mean that you just let everything go out and you didn't learn from it. I want you to take what's happened in the past, think of the things that you wish you could do better or you would like to do better moving forward. Okay, so everything in the past, take those things as lessons and then say, okay, I don't want to fall back into that, or I don't want those to happen. So I'm going to take today, remember I talk about be now, today, take charge. And remember, I showed you one of my quotes talking about, you can't take everything from the past, but you can make a new future. All right. And that's what I want you to do, is I want you to take now and what can we do to improve? Communication is one of those things. It is really important for us to talk with one another. And I mean by this, the telephone. I wish I could pick up. Hey, I do have a telephone. I actually have a landline right here. Picking up the phone. That is the important part of communicating. Now, I know a lot of you, you guys are a lot younger than me. So if you fall in the millennial category, I know that picking up the phone is kind of foreign to you. It's a lot easier to text. It's a lot easier to send a private message. But let us have communication with one another. Who doesn't like to get a phone call? Who doesn't like to make sure that you're encouraged? Who doesn't like to know that they're a part of something? Just imagine if I were not to do Facebook Lives, but if I were to post maybe once a week. How disinterested would you be in what I was giving you? That is the question, or that is a situation that is happening right now. What's happening is that as a leader, as a team leader, it's important for you to communicate with your level ones on a regular basis. What is a regular basis? Depending on the size of your team, it can be a weekly or an every other weekly situation. For those who are brand new team members, you need to be in constant communication with them on a weekly basis. By using the Fast Start checklist, which I updated in our files section today, use that as your sheet to make sure that you communicate with your level ones. This is especially important for those that are doing their fast starts. That's what it is. It's a fast start checklist. Those first 6 weeks of getting them to a stable foundation, feeling like they're involved and that you're caring for them, that you're helping them out. What happens is that if you check with them maybe once, maybe twice in their fast start, maybe only once a month, expecting them to work on their fast start periods, they may feel like you are disinterested in them. And what's going to happen is that the less you communicate with them, the quicker your team members are more likely to not be involved in their business. And so therefore, and I'm not trying to get you to spoon feed them, but I'm asking you to teach them duplicable items, things that they in turn can do for their new team members. All right. That is one thing that, if they feel overwhelmed and that it's really hard to do all the things that you're teaching them, you've either given them too much to think about, or you are not teaching them small principles which they can build upon over and over and over, okay, so that they get stronger in them. Think about having a baby. You don't expect the baby to do calculus the instant it comes out of the womb. It takes time. It takes a lot of time and a lot of patience. So those of you who have had kids and are homeschooling them and don't see any progress, think about them a while ago and what they've been able to accomplish at this point. So that's what happens is you're going to teach these concepts, and I call them precept upon precept, so that they understand them and can do them over and over in simple and easy ways. If you are invested in your downline, they will feel a part of the team. They will work with you, and that means just either checking in on them, like I said, on a weekly basis or on an every other weekly basis. Let them know when you're going to check in. It should be something that you have in your calendar. When you have if you're doing color blocking and, blue is for your team or purple is for your team or whatever it is, that's the time that you're going to either do a team training, a team meeting, check in with your team, something to do with your team so they feel a part of it. Those of you who are more involved in commenting and those of you who do the homework, I feel a connection to you. I see your name pop up more often, and I feel a greater connection with you. It is a symbiotic relationship. Okay, it's not just me giving you stuff, but you participating makes me know that I'm doing a good job. Do I do everything perfectly? No, I don't. But at least I know that you're supporting me. And the same thing is with your team. I will throw a caveat at you. It's important to know that there is 1/3 coming in, 1/3 working their business, and 1/3 of your team that will be going out. It is natural. That is the way the direct selling cycle goes. People come in, they're really excited. And then what happens is that they're okay, they're working their business, and then maybe a year later, they're on their way out. The cycle is about 6 months to a year for most people. Probably more on the year side, those of them that are really working their business. The thing about it is that when people decide to leave, it is, and I want you to give yourself some grace, it may not necessarily mean that it's something that you did if you have done all you could to support them. Every person is an individual. They choose whether to work their business or not. They are independent consultants. Notice that word, independent consultants. I want you to remember, and I want you to teach this to your team as well. The 1/3 coming in, 1/3 working their business, 1/3 going out. So if you have 3 people on your team, most likely one of them is really excited, one of them is okay, and one of them is going out. So I need you to think about that on your team. Who are those people? And what does that mean? I've explained this analogy to a lot of people, and I thought this would be the best time to do this. I want you to imagine that you have a storefront, and your business as a Jamboree consultant is that storefront. It's a virtual storefront, but nonetheless, think of it as a brick and mortar store. You are standing inside that store, and you're selling fantastic products. You have X number of employees, your team members. Those team members, how many of them are actually showing up to work? Meaning, how many of them are actually working their business, active working their business? Those are people that are showing up for work. If you have 5 team members and only one of them is showing up for work, the other 4 are not working the business. That was terrible. I can't do math apparently. But the 4 that are not working their business are more likely to be going out. And I know that's hard for you to recognize, but what does that mean? It means that you only have 1 employee when you had 5. It's time for you to find some new employees. And those employees need to love this product. Just don't get them to buy a kit because you need an active leg. You need people who are going to be in this business because they love what this business can do, or that they love sharing the product. Remember, if they're not really interested in building a team, we have that Style VIP option for them. Teach them that they can do Style VIP. And it's helpful if they do a hybrid, that they find somebody to be in their store with them, but sharing their enthusiasm of the product as well. So hopefully that little analogy of your storefront, because you do have a virtual storefront, and those employees on your team are your team members, you want people that want to be part of this journey. And I am part of just excited to be a part of your Jamboree journey, not as a consultant, but I'm a marketer for your store. I am marketing your store, and that's important too. So hopefully we're all in this together. I do have a challenge for you that I'm going to ask you to check in with your level 1s this week. Every single one of them. But I'm going to ask you to pick up the phone. I want you to actually pick up the phone and hopefully have a voice conversation. Okay? Or maybe you do a Zoom, or maybe you do a FaceTime, not just at them, but with them. Have a conversation. Find out what the goal is. If you can't get a hold of them, leave a message, not just text them. I'm actually asking you to use your voice because they can hear your voice, and that's a powerful tool, ladies. I don't know if you realize that, but check in with them this week. Find out what one of their goals is for Jamberry. Maybe it's just beautiful nails. Maybe it's a couple dollars, extra dollars. Find out what it is and say, you know what? I probably haven't been as good as I could have been, but I'd love to find out how I can help you reach that goal. And then set up a time where you can reach out to them on a regular basis. Maybe do a team meeting. And by a team meeting, do a Zoom team meeting where everybody comes in and is involved so that they feel a connection. They can see other people's faces, see who's on the team. Because when we don't see each other, we get disconnected. So be able to do that. I want you to do it by Tuesday. And I picked this fun little wrap here. And I can't remember whether it is, yep, it's what I thought it was. What do you say when people answer the phone? Hello. Huh? I'm finding all these wraps that coordinate with my little challenges. So I have 3 random winners for hello. And I will be doing that by next Tuesday. Okay, so today is Thursday. I'm giving you some time to get over the weekend. Yes. So I want you reach out by phone. Use that beautiful voice of yours. Yes, it may be a bit scary sometimes, but guess what? Take that step. Be fearless. Be daring. Be now. Do it and reignite that team cohesiveness, that team bonding that should be there. I think sometimes we forget that that's really the important part, that we've created friends from this business, okay? All right, guys, hope you have a wonderful time. I have a special guest tomorrow, so make sure that you join us tomorrow, same time, and I look forward to hearing from one of your peers. All right, guys, take care. Bye.